everyone and welcome to Simplilearn. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about how John the Ripper works through practical hands-on demos. But first, let me tell you something about John the Ripper. John the Ripper is a password auditing tool which is used by cybersecurity professionals. It is basically used to test password strength in authorized environments. So guys, if you are interested in cybersecurity or ethical hacking, then watch this video till the end. The goal of this tutorial is not to attack real systems, but to understand how weak passwords can be cracked and why strong password practice are very much important. All the demos in this video are safe for lab examples and it is created using our own files. Now, here is the agenda of our today's session. First, we are going to learn about what is John the Ripper. Next, we are going to learn about hash versus plain text password. Third, we are going to learn about setting up a practice folder. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to try some basic Linux password hash cracking. After that, we are going to crack a MD5 hash. Then we are going to try cracking a password protected zip file. After that, we are going to crack password using wordlist rules. And finally, we are going to crack a 4-digit PIN using mask mode. Now, before we start our session, just a quick info guys, Simplilearn has got Advanced Executive Program in Cybersecurity. It is ranked India's #1 cybersecurity course by LiveMint, where you're going to learn to defend and prevent. Here, you're also going to build AI-powered security expertise with 100+ guided assignments. Also, you're going to gain exposure with 30+ real-world case studies and 3 capstone projects. And finally, you're going to defend against cyber threats using 30+ hands-on tools. So guys, hurry up now and join the course. The course link is mentioned in the description box. Now, before we head to the session, here is a short quiz to test your knowledge. And the question is, what is the main purpose of John the Ripper in cybersecurity? Your options are to create websites, or to create password strength by cracking hashes, or to scan Wi-Fi networks, or to remove computer viruses. Please mention your answers in the comment section below. And also guys, if you like these kind of videos, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell icon such that you don't miss out any update from our end. So let's get started. So guys, let us first try to understand what exactly is John the Ripper. John the Ripper is a popular password security auditing tool. In simple words, if I have to say, it is used to test whether passwords are weak or easy to guess or vulnerable to cracking. Mostly cybersecurity professionals use it to check the strength of the passwords in legal and an authorized environment. One of its main features is password hash cracking. Instead of storing real passwords, systems usually store password hashes. John the Ripper tries to guess the original password by comparing the possible passwords with those hashes. And it supports many hash types, including Linux, Unix, Windows, and different application-based hashes. Another important feature is its dictionary attack support. This means that it can use word list of common passwords and try them against password hashes. It also supports brute force attacks, where it tries many possible combinations, and also rule-based attacks, where it modifies words by adding numbers, symbols, or changing letters. John the Ripper is also flexible and fast. It can automatically detect many hash formats, work on different operating systems like Linux, Windows, and macOS, and use different cracking modules, and use different cracking modes depending upon the requirement. Now let me tell you something very interesting about it. This tool is mainly used in ethical hacking, penetration testing, password audit scenarios. For example, a security team may use John the Ripper to check if employees are using weak passwords like password123 or let's say admin@123. It can also be used after collecting test password hashes from lab system to demonstrate how attackers crack weak passwords. Another common scenario is cybersecurity training. Beginners use John the Ripper in controlled lab environments to understand how password cracking works and why strong passwords are important. However, it should only be used with permission. Using John the Ripper to crack someone else's password without authorization is illegal. And its correct purpose is to improve security by finding weak password before attackers do. So guys, this was a brief introduction about John the Ripper. Now, you would be wondering what exactly is hashing. So hashing is an encryption mechanism where what we do, let's say if I write something like, for example, so let's say guys, the password for your required email ID is password at the rate 123. Now, when you write this password, so what your system does it uses the hashing algorithm which converts all these numbers into a format like this. And it is a kind of a very big string. So generally the password is stored in this format. So this becomes kind of hard for anyone to crack. And this is a normal hashing mechanism. And there are a lot of hashing algorithms like MD5, digest algorithm, and RS algorithm. So when we talk about encryption and security, where we don't want anyone's data to be leaked, we are storing in a very secure format, so which is generally achieved in one of the ways which we call as hashing. So I hope so you would have gone the brief idea regarding hashing. Now it's time to install John the Ripper. So guys, if you are a Windows user, first I would suggest you go to the Microsoft Store, okay? And you will not be just using John the Ripper. There will be a lot of other tools also, for example, like Wireshark or Nmap, which you can use it to actually explore cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Now, let me tell you all over here. When you go to your Microsoft Store, just search Kali all over here. And when you just search Kali Linux, it will be available on your Microsoft Store. If you are Microsoft users, then just click on install and there will be a version of Kali Linux installed on your command prompt. Now, let us open our command prompt. So we'll just search for it through our search bar, and you can see that our command prompt is opened. Now, in order to open Kali Linux, what you need to type is Kali, okay? So you can see all over here, and this message you should see that this is a minimal installation of Kali Linux. You are likely want to install any other tools, so you can just refer to the official documentation of this. So let me copy this, and okay, I have copied that link, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this thing and minimal install setup information of Kali Linux. So this is a given website that you will be redirected to. So there are a lot of things all over here. Now the next step is installing John the Ripper. So in order to install John the Ripper, just type install John the Ripper, and there will be Linux command which says sudo install John the Ripper. And when you click on this, okay, so it does not give us the required installation. Let us go back. So open for the firewall system, you can just use this thing. And so guys, in your given CMD, what you need to type all over here, you need to type sudo apt install John, then -y. And this is going to install your John the Ripper. And after that, guys, just you need to do is type this John, and you're going to see something like this. John the Ripper 1.9.0 Jumbo, one version, and this is copyrighted by Solar Designers, and this is the official documentation by OpenWall for John the Ripper. If you want to use this, so just go to official documentation, which I'm actually using, and I showed you earlier also, which I am repeat. So if you follow that link, you are going to see the OpenWall documentation of the John Ripper. So it is being maintained by OpenWall, and there are a lot of things you are going to see, and this is our required thing. Now let us try to explore these tools. We will try on some basic hands-on demo first to get a brief idea regarding this tool. So guys, in this hands-on demo, we will create a sample password and convert it into a hash. And then we are going to use John the Ripper with a word list to recover the original plain text password. Now, let me recollect everything once again. So what is hash, guys? So guys, what is hash? So hash is basically an encrypted looking password value, like I had shown you earlier. And the plain text password is like your real password, like password at the rate 123. So guys, first type this command. Let's clear everything first. Now, all over here, let's create a directory all over here. So we are going to use mkdir command, and let's say the directory is John demo. Now after that, let us go to that directory. So cd John demo. Now guys, all over here, let us try to create a password called hello123 and store it in wordlist.txt. Now we have clicked enter on the same. Now let's hash that required password. So guys, for hashing that password, what I want you to do is use OpenSSL for doing it. And we are going to do salting all over here. And the given command is OpenSSL password, then -6 -salt, and then test hello123 and store it in hash.txt file. Now let's click enter. Now guys, after that, what we are going to do is we are going to use John the Ripper to show that respective password, basically through the word list. So let me click enter, and it says loaded one password hash, and it is using SHA encryption 512 bits and all over here. Now I will show the hash password. So you can see the password which I had written earlier, it has cracked it, and it shows one password hash cracked, 0 left, and the password is hello123. So guys, this is a very sample demo how John can access a list of set password, okay, and it can easily crack those hashed passwords. So guys, this demo demonstrates the basic password hash cracking, how John the Ripper can be used to crack the hash passwords. Now guys, in the next scenario, what we are going to do is we are going to crack an MD5 hashing text, or basically called as a password, and then we are going to use John the Ripper to crack the same thing. Now let me tell you a little bit about MD5 algorithm. Okay, so MD5 is an older hashing algorithm which is used to perform the hashing. So I told you, like, whenever you write a password all over here, so you use a hashing algorithm to convert something like this to this. So one of the algorithm, the particular format of algorithm is MD5. So you can see based on the algorithm, the cracking technique might be different. But since it's a very traditional password hashing algorithm, so we'll have a set technique to crack it. Let me show you guys. Now let us store one more password, and we call it as let's say cyber2026, and let's say it's stored in wordlist2.txt. Now after this, we are going to create an MD5 hash of the same password. So guys, what we are going to type all over here is we are going to type echo, then -n, then cyber2026, then you can see the algorithm name is MD5 sum, and then we are going to print $1, and all over here $1 is basically a variable signal, and then we'll just click enter to it. Now let us use the cat command to view the required MD5 hash text. So you can see this is our required hashing of this required password. Now we are going to use John the Ripper to crack the same thing. So guys, you can see the command for the required thing is John -- format, and the format is raw MD5. Then we are going to use the word list, and we stored it all over here in wordlist2.txt, and this is MD5 hash.txt, and we'll just click enter. So you can see loaded one password hash. So warning, no OpenMP support. Some warnings are being given, and you can see all over here it's showing the required thing. Now I'm going to use John the Ripper to show the required password. So when I just show this, and you can see this password is cracked, okay, which is cyber2026. So whatever the hashing we did all over here, that hashing is already been cracked. So it's just a normal significance of that all these MD5 algorithm based password can be easily cracked by John the Ripper. So in this demo, what we learned basically that John has that hash format of the raw using this command. If you see all over here, so .show -- format and raw MD5. So we are telling John that the hash format all over here is MD5, and then John checks each password from the word list and find the correct plain text password. So this is our required scenario. Now let me show you one more scenario. So first, let's clear our screen. Okay. Now in this third scenario, we are going to crack a zip file password using John the Ripper. And John can also crack password protected files. And for the zip files, we first extract the hash using the zip to John. So this is the required thing. And then we can crack that hash using the John the Ripper. So first of all, let us create a simple file. Let's call this is a secret demo file, and we are going to store it in secret.txt. Now, guys, after that, what we are going to do is we are going to create a password protected zip file with the password, let's say blue123. Let's click enter. So I'm using the command zip-p, then blue123 secret.zip and .txt. So you can see this has been done right now. And if you aren't familiar with Linux, I would request you to watch the Linux tutorial on our channel, which will going to give you a very clarity about what these commands are interpreting, because we are in a Linux terminal. Now, next thing what we are going to do is we are going to use zip2zon, which is basically extracting the zip hash using zon zip2. And you can see all over here, after typing this, so the given thing, it's trying to extract that hash. Now let us try to create a word list all over here. So you can see this is a word list 3 all over here, and then I am basically storing this required password blue123, let's say yellow 123, green 123, all over here, these 3 passwords in the word list 3.txt. Now guys, it's our time to actually crack the password using John the Ripper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this command, let's say John --word list, and I am telling that the passwords are stored in the word list 3.txt, and I'm going to use the required zip hash.txt file where the list of passwords were there and referring to the required thing in the respective file, which is all over here. If you see, because our password is stored in this, the hash password is stored all over there. So let's click enter all over here, and you can see the password has been cracked. Now it's time to display the required hashed password. So guys, from the list of password that we have stored in the word list 3.txt, John the Ripper is going to show the required file. So let us click enter, and you can see we have blue123 finally cracked for us. Pretty amazing. So this gives you another dimension that you can use John the Ripper and zon zip2 to crack the password of the zip files. So let me also tell you a few things. John cannot directly read the zip password. So we have to use certain thing which is called as zip2zon to convert the zip file into crackable hash. And then John uses the word list and finds that respective password. Now let's clear this. Now let us move on to the next scenario, where what we are going to do is we are going to use rules to crack the modified password. Now, when we are talking about cracking passwords using word mangling rules, so there the scenario will be kind of pretty much different than what we have explored all over there using the zip file, or let's say cracking through the MD5 algorithm, or let's say cracking the password with the help of, let's say, SHA algorithm. So all these techniques are kind of bit different. So sometimes users do not use exact dictionary words. They may capitalize the letters or slightly modify the password. So we can use John's ---- rules option and try variation of the words. So let us try to first create a word list with a lowercase password all over here. Now, if you could see this required thing, what I'm trying to do is I have created admin password, let's say nkali, and I've stored it in wordlist4.txt. Let's click enter. Now, next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create a hash for capitalized password. And we are going to use OpenSL and also the salting rule to actually add some complexity. And first, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to try it without rules. Then there may be a chance that it may not crack because the word list has the password, but the actual password is something else. Now we have to try with the rules, and then we are going to show the exactly password that we have mentioned all over here. Because the word list is going to only have that one password, but the real password was, let's say, in the capital letters. Now, if you wouldn't have got the idea regarding the same, let me try to show you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a capitalized version of that password using the OpenSL and using the salting technique, add some rule to it all over there. Now, let us click enter. Now, in this step, first, I'm going to try out without rules. So I'm using John wordlist, and let's say I store it in wordlist4.txt, and the file name is with the help of rule hash.txt. Let us click enter, and you can see it has loaded one password hash. So it's a SHA-512 crypt. So guys, at the first, we are trying to crack the password without using the rule. If you see all over here. Now, it may crack the password or it may not. But when you use this all over here, hyphen rules, then we have a greater probability of cracking that password which we have stored. Now, let us click enter all over here, and you can see we have got the given cracked password. Now, the next step is showing that required password. So you can see all over here, what I'm trying to show is the given rule-based password. So for that, I'm using --show command, and let's click enter, and you can see the capitalized password is shown. So John the Ripper is also very much capable of cracking the password when you are adding some rules all over there. Now, in this scenario, we are going to crack a 4-digit PIN using mask attack all over there. So what is a mask attack? So let's say mask attack is a kind of a technique which is useful when we know the password pattern. For example, let's say if we know the password is a 4-digit PIN, so we can tell John the Ripper to try only digits. So in the first step, let us try to create an MD5 hash for, let's say, PIN number. You can give any PIN number. So let's say I use 0427. And next up, we are going to view that required hash, and then we are going to crack using the mask mode present all over there. So guys, you can see all over here, I have created a 4-digit PIN, which is 0427, and I've stored in pin hash.txt. Let's click enter. So this is using MD5 sum algorithm to store this required password in a kind of hash format. Now, let us show the required hash using the cat command, which is stored in pin hash.txt file. Now, after that, what we are going to use is we are going to crack that required password using, let's say, mask mode. And you can see we already know the format, and let's say it's using format raw MD5, and you can see the mode is the mask mode. And I have also given this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is question mark, and all DD. And let's say it's trying to crack the password which is stored in the hash format, and this is our required file. Now, John, when it uses this, it has loaded and it has cracked the required password. Now it's our time to show that required password. Now I'm going to use the required command John -- format equal to raw MD5 -- show pin hash.txt. Let's click enter all over here, and you can see that we have cracked the required password using the mask mode. So these are some of the techniques you can use John the Ripper to explore or crack the password. But guys, beware, it's only used for ethical hacking or checking the security of any system. Now, do not use it definitely to crack someone else's password or your friend's password. It's completely unethical. You may be entitled to a cybersecurity crime or fraud, which is not correct and ethical. So guys, this was all about John the Ripper. I hope so you would have enjoyed our today's tutorial on this required topic. And thank you guys for watching this video. And also guys, if you like these kind of videos, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell icon, such that you don't miss out any update from our end.